Welcome back. It's Face Off. Interestingly, while we went on the short break, my two guests had already started quarreling over little things like water, microphone, and all of that. And I hope we can get this right tonight. We're looking at judiciary, how well they fared in their responsibility to interpret what the law really says, all of those technicalities that they introduce during court cases and all of that in the courtroom is what we're going to look at to see how far they fared. To my right, Dr. Okpe Banwo. He's a lawyer, barrister at law. You're not, yes, how do you call yourselves?
Well, my learner, you are not learned. You are not learned.
Oh my goodness. At my left, I have an accountant and financial analyst, and he is Lester Wilcott. Are you a Nigerian?
A full-blooded Nigerian.
Okay.
And both of them are going to be looking at how far the judiciary has fared. Lester thinks they've not done so well. While, obviously, a lawyer would say they've done well. Lester, that should be because you are not a lawyer, you are an accountant. Fire your first server.
I am an accountant, but that does not mean that I'm not in the Nigerian system. I have followed Nigerian trend for quite a while. I mean, since my adult, since I became an adult or become aware of what is happening around my environment, I've been following sequentially what is happening. So, for me, is that judiciary, it's not just work in progress, but it's a retrogressing element in our national life today.
Oh my goodness, that's quite heavy.
Because it's retrogressing because there was a time judiciary was at its peak, with prominent men that have delivered sound judgments, seems to have redirected the affairs of society through their judgments. There was a time where Nigeria was ranking very high in our judiciary, but in the last 16, 20 years,
okay,
it has been nosediving, and I don't think they've done well.
That is quite a lengthy one, and I dare not say that is an open statement. That's a song. Dr. Banwo.
Yes, I think obviously we can't take the judiciary in isolation of what is going on in the nation as a whole. Just like my friend just said, I would say my learned friend because he is not learned.
Educated friend.
But he's educated, saying that in the last 15 years, the quality of judiciary has nosedived. I don't know where he found that from. He would know if he doesn't know the law and he has not been in courts. But at the same time, there also used to be a time where politicians think more of the people than their pocket. There used to be a time when we don't have scandal and pension funds fraud every 6 months. So yes, generally the society seems to have nosedived generally. But even in the midst of all of this, I think the judiciary has performed creditably well.
If I get Dr. Banwo very well, he's blaming the society for maybe softly accepting or admitting that the judiciary has failed.
Well, I'll be happy for it. I'll be happy to accept that they have failed. Because if society has failed, because for me, the judiciary is supposed to be the salt of the society. Okay. And then the Bible reckons that if the salt has lost its taste, it becomes useless. Because for me, the judiciary is supposed to mold the opinion of society. The judiciary is supposed to stand at the bedrock to mediate between right and wrong. Okay? So yes, he mentioned a few things, a few challenges that cropped up, for which one would have expected that the judiciary should have risen above board to address those challenges. But what did the judiciary do? They rather than rising above those challenges, they conform to the challenges. So if society is going bad, and the judiciary that is supposed to moderate society and bring society to the path of righteousness, rectitude, joins in the bandwagon of going bad, then there's a problem.
Now this man is about to become a pastor on national television. I think we are mixing a lot of stuff up here, all right? You haven't given me any basis for your conclusion. And quite frankly, it's like me saying doctors no longer know how to perform operations when I'm not a doctor. You are a chartered accountant. Yeah. So until you start giving me facts and figures, I don't know where you got the impression that the judiciary has not performed. It's in this same country in the last 3 or 4 years where we have found the judiciary in a way that has never happened in Nigeria before, where the judiciary has reversed processes where people's mandates have been stolen. All right, I'm talking about the cases of the firemen in Ekiti State. I'm talking about Oshomole in Edo State. I'm talking about Ajimobi in Oyo State. I'm talking about instances where the judiciary has been bold enough to defy.
How be it some sector of the
sector. I'm coming. A sector. Just a sector.
No, it's not just a sector. Okay. But see, it's like
a section of the.
No, I'm talking generally because. People, just to give an analogy, all right? I'm not saying there are no bad incidents here and there. It's like saying airline crash, when Dana Air crashed, everybody felt that the airline industry has failed. Yet, airline is the safest means of transportation.
Agreed,
okay,
agreed.
Maybe one in every 100,000 flights. The same way in judiciary, we focus on those exceptional cases. We are not focusing on the estate cases that have been decided every day, where there are certain issues. We are not talking about divorce cases. Judiciary, the political part is just one.
You may have made a vague statement.
Yeah, so go specific for me. Let's talk about
I have specifics.
But don't just say
no, I have specifics. No, you see, I'm not saying that there are no flashes of sound judicial pronouncements.
There are more flashes of brilliance than failures.
There are flashes of sound judicial precedents, which my learned friend, with my brother knew yes, that we will agree that there are flashes of sound judicial interpretation. But it's same judiciary that produces the case of Ibori, where the Supreme Court of Nigeria, look, after seeing what the magistrate court did in convicting James Onofi Ibori, as the same man that was convicted some years back before he contested the election, the Supreme Court of Nigeria, under Justice Mohammed Uwais, reversed that, stated inter alia that it cannot be proven that that same James Onofi Ibori was the same James Onofi Ibori that contested the election as governor of the other state. I'm coming. The same judiciary that produced the likes of Justice Awokulehi of Federal Headquarters Sabah, that discharged 172 count charges against James Onofi Ibori in this same country, and the same count held in the London court, and James Onofi Ibori is in jail. This same judiciary. This same judiciary, how many electoral cases have they reversed and get the mandates of the people? We all know how elections are going in this country. Can I give instances? In Rivers State, where election, my own state, where elections will be conducted within 2 hours and a winner will emerge. And yet, judiciary in Rivers, and then the judiciary will upheld such abnormality, even when petitions are proven with beyond reasonable doubt that there are right cases of instances.
Is this a sign of
ignorance?
No, if you want, it's not ignorance. It's not ignorance.
I've allowed you to talk
it's
for
not ignorance.
Can
I can give you, no, we don't have all the time. I can give you cases by cases of what the same judiciary in Nigeria produced.
All right.
Let me give you time.
This is the problem you have when you bring a lawyer and an accountant to come and argue about judiciary. This man doesn't even understand what the judiciary is. All those cases he cited has got nothing to do with judiciary. Judiciary decides cases brought before them.
Okay.
All right. When the prosecutor, who is not part of the judiciary, does not bring the evidence that a judge requires to make his decision, he's got to dismiss the case. No, that's what happens in the case of Ibori and some of those cases he mentioned.
Bravo.
The prosecutors did not bring the evidence before the judge to make a conviction.
See, we are being proved by the rule. Let me give you a little national education on what the judiciary is.
And a lawyer.
Okay.
Because when an accountant is talking, and just like majority of Nigerians who see some of these things and blame judges, this is not a problem of judiciary. It's a problem of what I call the executive. See, we have the executive, legislature, and judiciary, right?
So the executive is responsible for some of those decisions.
Of course, for many of them, because when you know the law, I will give you instances. No, it's not
that is where the judiciary has failed.
The judiciary
is the arm of government. It should be an independent government.
Yeah, an arm of government. It should be independent. Now, let me give an example of the judiciary was, in case you are ignorant about this.
I want to know.
Let's say you and him have a dispute. Let's say this man takes your paper and tears it.
Okay.
Okay, takes your paper and you tore his paper.
Okay.
All right, and maybe that is against the law according to our law. The prosecutor takes you to court and say, why did you, he's supposed to prosecute you for tearing his paper. Okay. Now me, even if I'm witnessing it on television, you tearing his paper, I am bound by the evidence that you present before me. That is our law. Okay. If you don't like that type of law, go to the to Abuja and tell the legislature to change the law. So if you come to court and you don't produce the evidence to show that he tore your paper in a way it's not supposed to tear it, I as a judge, I have a duty, a legal duty to dismiss that case. That is what the law says.
Look,
so if you don't like that.